Tell me, what do you see or feel in this new space?
I initially just felt like it was a blue sky that I was looking at, and then I sense that there's blossoms, spring blossoms on a fruit tree,
Okay.
and there's like laughter and joy, and like I see white tunic style dresses. Not tunic, that's not the right word. Empire waisted, that's the right word. Right below the boobs is where the hemline is, you know what I mean? Those kind of dresses. But
Like
they're
old fashioned, like linen type.
Yeah, they're not quite like satin, pretty fabric. It's more like a something you wear in the spring, light fabric, yeah. And there's like I feel like there's girls around. I just see laughter and like I feel like it's just like like a perfume ad, you know. There's just and then there's like scenery and that, but it's just kind of on repeat.
Can you feel who you are in this scene or what you are?
I feel like I'm one of the women. I feel like we're visiting somewhere because I sensed that there was a carriage and a horse that brought us to where we were. Like
Okay.
where I feel like there's grapes that we're running through, or like everything's so not complete. It feels like spring, there's
Hmm.
buds on everything. It doesn't feel like there's leaves yet. I don't know. I just see a grape. What are they called? Vineyard. Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
There's just a bunch of grape rows.
And when you say girls, are they adult or children?
I feel like we're adults, but I don't feel like we're very old.
Like young adults?
Yeah, like early 20s.
And can you see yourself? What do you look like?
I feel like I have red hair, like a light, and it's curly. I feel like I have light skin and blue eyes. I don't know. I'm just looking at myself and she just keeps waving. So she's really bubbly and happy. Like she really enjoys socializing
Hmm.
and talking. She's like asking me who I am,
Hmm.
and she's saying she's here on a trip with her girlfriends.
Where did she come from?
Yeah, she's talking about how they came from the city and they came out here to relax away from boys. She's like a weekend without the boys, and she's like kind of laughed with her hand at her mouth.
Can you ask her what city?
We came from Versailles. I had a
Okay.
feeling. Okay, I wonder. Because I don't want to place anything, but I just got the vibe like this kind of feels like we're like there's money. I feel like it's somebody else's place we're visiting. I don't want to place anything yet, so I'm just gonna keep it at that, but
Okay.
she's there with her friends. She keeps telling me Marie's over there. So I think this is the Marie Antoinette. That's who we're there with.
Oh, okay.
And she's pointing at her. She keeps saying like, yes, yes, because I'm like, I don't want to place it. And she's like, no, she's right over there. And I'm like, but I don't want to. And she's like, she's right there. Okay, she's over there. So that's this life.
Does anything else on this particular day stand out to you?
It's just beautiful. There's a lot of happiness and joy. It's like just fun. Like we enjoy. I feel like there's 4 or 5 of us there, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun, and we're excited about being there. We arrived in the middle of the day, and she says we're gonna have a costume party tonight. Just the girl, like everything is just, I feel like they're doing fancy stuff. Like Marie, it's like she doesn't care if there's 5 people there or 50 people there. It's like it brings that vibe. Everything's fancy and to the nines, and she's treats her like she really loves opulence and treating people to that. So we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have like a night like that, just the girls. I can see drinking and we're like laughing, roaming the grounds. She's just kind of telling me what's going on that night and I'm kind of staying into it. But yeah, that's about it. She's just saying
Okay.
this is like a long await. They're all excited about this weekend and so yeah, it's like this big epic girls trip.
So let's move forward and see where your place of residence is in this lifetime.
I feel like my house it's big. There's a couple stories to it. I'm being told my father's a lord, whatever I don't know what that means, but he's in society and I feel like we live near the palace. He likes to stay close to the king. And he kind of, the vibe I get is like my parents just like want to be like part of society, and they are. That's how I meet her. And he was kind of, it was a lot of families were trying to get their daughter married off to the prince or whatever. But so since I didn't get selected, he wanted me to be involved in Marie's court. I feel like I see myself in learning how to be a lady, like in class, like etiquette kind of stuff, but it was so boring. Like I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like I always made a joke out of it. Like my mom giggles. She kind of my dad's really stern because I feel like he wants it more than she does. So in order to be part of society, you literally have to play the part. You can't be my personality.
Yeah. You have to be stuck up
Like you,
like them kind of a thing.
oh yeah, and you have to play the games and stab people in the back but don't feel like that's known to me. I just want to have fun because there's really not a whole lot of responsibility, I feel like. I feel like keep being drawn to my mom. Like, she's really funny too. She's really silly, and she kind of teaches me how to wear what hat and what situation, how to, put it on the shelf for a little bit and then when to get it out again. I feel like that personality trait is what drew me and Marie together as well because she kind of is the same way. I feel like she doesn't know how to be serious. She just wants to have fun. That's what kind of drew us together. But I feel like my mom's like that too. She's like that. And she teaches me how to kind of tame and when to let it out kind of thing. But it's a
Mm.
beautiful home. Like that we have we have a drawing room, whatever the fuck those are. We have a butler, we have a staff and stuff like that. I have a brother. Him and I are cool. Like he's really cute. I see him waving at me. He's really friendly. I have another brother, but he's like my dad. He's very serious, but he's still cool. I mean, we don't have any bad blood like that. I feel like there's a sister, but her and I don't really get along that well. I just don't feel very warm to her. Because I asked, is she part of court too? But I don't feel like she is. Maybe that's why she and I don't get along. Because she's not fun to be around. She doesn't really blend with the ladies very well. And I feel like she's kind of jealous of how easy it is for me to get along with people. Because I just see her standing in the corner, just like scowling at me. She just she's kind of rude.
Just kind of jealous of you and how easy everything seems to be for you.
Yeah. I feel like she's older than me too. I have a older brother and then her and then me and then the little brother. I see like the house is split into two. Like the older brother and sister are on the dad's side and me and the little brother are on the mom's side. So I'm just assuming our personality temperaments, that's what they're illustrating. We just naturally get along with our mother better. We're more like her. I don't know. I don't know why that's sticking out so much, but it is.
Maybe it'll come back up later.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so does anything else stand out here? What do you guys eat for a typical meal?
I see a table with like a lot of food on it, so I would assume that we have what we need and what we want, like we have the usual meat, dairy, potatoes, stuff like that, and fruit and everything, because I see just opulence. So,
Like extravagant, lots of it kind of a thing?
yeah, because I feel like my dad does have money. Like he is socially very high up. He's next to the king, like I don't feel like he's like this heavy, important role, but he is part of that court. And that's why he's so strict with us, mainly because he doesn't want us to embarrass the king, not so much for our benefit. He doesn't want us to embarrass him.
Everything's about social status and appearances, right?
Mm-hmm. Big time. Which I feel like I see myself rolling my eyes. Like, I think it's just silly. I feel like it's just really stupid because I don't understand why you can't I don't know. I don't understand what they're talking about. And so it's like, I just want to talk about stuff that makes people like excited about life and joy and all that shit, laughing.
Hmm.
I just don't like all the seriousness. And that's, like I said, what bonds me and Marie together when we first meet. I feel like we make a joke to each other about how serious it is because we were sitting by each other, but afterward when everybody was playing games and drinking and stuff like you do after every soiree, whatever. Her and I were sitting in the corner making jokes about it all, and that's what bonded us because
Mm,
we find it all to be so silly. It's just stupid.
yeah.
We don't like politics.
Let's move forward and see what your main occupation was in this incarnation.
Well, immediately see myself playing croquet in in a it's like the grass and then there's those hedges and there's like areas that separate other areas. There's like an area with a fountain and then an area with somebody playing like I've just socializing, playing croquet, and I see us talking to boys because it's like the name of the game is like my job is to get married, to find
Hmm.
somebody to take care of me and for me to, fulfill my duties. Like goals in that society were completely different, I feel.
Hmm.
It's not like, yeah, it's not like today, you don't have a career unless you're poor. And
And
so
how long did you continue that lifestyle after you no longer were hanging out with Marie?
I just kind of feel like everything's dark. Everything went a little dreary, and I saw the word no. Like I don't feel like it kind of it ended with her, like the aristocratic because the revolution started, shortly after, and it got really violent, and a lot of people who were close to them had to flee.
How did
Just
that impact you and your family?
I see me like upset and like with my children and my husband, and we're like trying to get out of because there's a lot of rioting going on. I just feel like we were told to get out, and we did. Kind of what I feel. I don't know. I just see
Sorry.
a lot of panicking and like
Can you see where you went?
I see. Well, the first thing I felt was like Germany. Like we left the country. We
Hmm.
just didn't want to we because I was too scared. I feel like I wanted to run as far as away as I could. I didn't want to get caught up in all that because it was very scary. The people they wanted to get rid of everybody who was connected to the money. It was that system, the aristocracy and all that shit was that whole system completely crumbled and fell. And everybody attached to that system had to adapt or die. And so I wanted to get the fuck away from Dodge as fast as I could. Because in southern Germany, there's some other countries and then the tip of Italy. I just feel like we ran kind of around that area. Maybe Munich even. I'm seeing that on a map. But yeah, I just fled and I can see myself like in a wooded area, like in a cabin and just like looking out the window, kind of paranoid. Like they're gonna find me. I feel like I lived in fear.
And does anyone ever end up finding you?
I immediately saw the word no. I just was paranoid.
So let's move forward to some important days. Let's go to the first important day that your higher self wants you to see about this life.
Well, I was brought back to croquet. I just see a man. Maybe it's my husband. I don't know. But I feel like there's somebody that I flirt with a lot. I see the word tease. Like I kind of, lead him on a little bit and then push him away and then lead him on a little bit and then push him away. Because on some level, I kind of feel like if I get married, all this fun will stop because I feel like as a single woman, I could do more fun things with because I have girls that I'm like we're very good friends, and I don't want to lose that. And so I feel like I kind of am trying to pl I see a teeter-totter, like I'm kind of trying to balance because I do care about this person and I enjoy seeing him. I get excited about seeing him, like I look for him at events, but I don't want to settle down with him. I'm not ready for that yet. I want to play more because I kind of feel like I wouldn't, but I don't feel like there are married couples who are still part of court, but I don't want to be married because we always have these secret liaisons, I feel like, and we meet boys. I don't want to lose the fun free agency kind of thing.
Yeah, because then you have to settle down and probably start having children and stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't feel like, because like, I feel like I really enjoy making out with guys, but I just see myself going to these different parties and meeting somebody and just having this hot affair, and then I'll never see him again because we are in a different city or a different area or a different party. And I don't feel like I could do that if I was married. I mean, we would still be part of court, but I couldn't do all the secret stuff that she always did. She had like this secret little group of girls that a lot of people, I don't feel like people knew what we were up to.
Does anything else stand out to you about this man or this day playing croquet? Is this the day that you meet him or just a random day where you're around him?
There's just, he's kind of just shows up out of nowhere and he's just always there.
Oh,
I
so
don't,
he's like pursuing you probably.
yeah, like we're both into each other.
Does anything come of this relationship? Does this man end up becoming your husband?
Oh yeah, because I do love him. I don't like any other guy because I think about him even when I'm with other people. I definitely want to be with him, but I just not right now.
Mm,
But I do feel like he is my husband. Yes, I feel like, yeah, because he has qualities that draw me to him, but I just am not ready for him yet. Like he makes me laugh, he's fun, but he's also serious and he's good at his what I don't really pay attention to what he says he does. I have no idea what he does, but he's good at it because
mm,
he's
mm,
successful, you know,
mm, mm,
and he's very charming and charismatic. So he's well liked in the court too. I feel like my father wants me to focus on other people because I don't feel like he quite makes enough money for my dad or he has quite a big enough position for my dad. There's something he falls short of,
mm.
but that just makes me want him even more. And my mom sees that, I feel like, and she giggles. She's giggling. Like I'm seeing a symbolic image, and my dad's on one side judging him, and my mom sees my dad judging him, and how much it makes me like him, and how much it's more intriguing to me. I see her telling him, "You're gonna shove him right, or you're gonna shove her right down the aisle into his arms." And he's like, "No," like he's trying to put other people in my way. But it's not a serious active thing of him, not allowing us to speak. He just doesn't like it. He's kind of frowning upon it kind of thing. That's just the vibe I get.
Okay, so let's move on to a different important day.
Well, I feel like we're in the palace and it's like it's dark and it's scary and but I don't feel like I'm literally there when they get taken because that nobody was there for that. But I also want to know how it got to this point, but it's stuff that I already know and it's just like a green check mark. Like you already saw it. So because it got to the point it got because she had advisors who lied to her. She thought everything was fine, and she had no idea the people of the cities were struggling so hard. It was kind of a shock to her, even in her life review, how bad it really was. I'm really sad because I don't want it to be over. Like, I really enjoy and care about her, but I just feel like there's people pulling me away and we're leaving. I just see it's like metaphor, but I feel like there's a mob mentality in the streets and everybody's kind of being pulled away from it because nobody wants to be associated with that. I see my father taking all of us. I feel like years have gone by because I do feel like I get married after that because the fun's over, so might as well get married. Because I see my father pulling me away from her court, and it's just like at night in the dark. So I'm wondering if it's just like everything went dark and all the light and bubbliness in my life is ended, Because I had a lot of fun with her, and now it's like I'm just kind of hanging out. I'm bored a lot. I see the gentleman come over and he has flowers and we spend time together, but I still feel like I just am really bummed out because I miss my friends and I don't know. I just see us sitting at a table and I'm just kind of like, sighing because I'm just bored.
So does your father take you guys to Germany or is that somewhere that you go later?
I feel like when the revolution starts is when we flee. It was really sad. Like everything got really politically violent, and because I feel like I go with my husband and I feel like there's small children with us.
Do people like actually figure out that you were involved with her and come after you? Is
Well,
that why you guys flee?
that's what I'm afraid of because a lot of people, it just gets tense. I feel like it's just tense when you're out. Because there's a lot of poor people and they don't have anything and they're hungry and there's disease and it's not good. socioeconomically in the times, and but I had no idea either. I was too busy, living the good life, and I don't know, I just feel really I don't understand what's going on. I feel like I just don't enjoy being out in public. I feel like everybody like hates me, and I just feel
Do they hate you for a reason or just because you have money?
I think it's just because we have money. Sorry, I'm just trying to see. I don't know if I don't know, all of it's just kind of jumbling together because I'm trying to figure out a timeline of how long until I was pulled away from court until, because I feel like when we first initially were finding out about what happened, I really do feel strongly that my husband and my children, we fled, but right now I'm trying to establish where on this timeline I am because everything's kind of running together. Perhaps it all just happened so fast that I really didn't gain my bearings.
Hmm.
I really don't know.
Which would make sense.
Because I do, when I'm out in public, I'm with my husband and because I feel myself holding on to him because I am scared to be out in public by myself. Like I feel like people are saying things to me and spitting on me or something because I hung out with her. So I guess, yeah, they probably did know that I was her friend because I feel like there's people who don't like me because of her. Things start getting really tense. I'm hearing that people want, I'm just hearing people's plans for her, and it's really, I feel sad, but I'm also really scared. I feel scared for her because, okay, sorry, I'm starting to gain my bearings a little bit because I don't know. Maybe it's blocked out. I really don't know. I can't. I'm just asking questions about this timeline because I want to know how long it was that I was pulled away from her until, because okay, I don't feel like she has children when we're being separated from each other. And I feel like I'm in my early 20s. And when all this, okay, so time, there was a significant amount of time that had gone by. I got married, we established a life, and I had a happy, but I still thought about her and missed her and missed hanging out with her because I didn't really talk to her and I knew how people talked about her, and it bothered me because I knew who she really was. She was actually really kind and sweet, and I feel like she didn't. None of us knew that people were living like this. Like it really. It's like if you just knew her, she didn't. I don't know. I can't explain it. It really bothers me that people say bad things about her. I feel like I have my own family and yeah, I just feel like politically it just gets really tense and the days get darker until it's finally time to go. Okay, sorry, I had to unravel that timeline. It was just so jumbled together. But yeah, I did live a significant amount of time away from her. Because even in this life, like people make jokes about her, and it always bothered me learning about her in history. I felt like everybody had the wrong idea, and it just bothered me, and I never understood why. I was like, but now I know why.
So let's move forward to another important day that is significant from this incarnation.
I feel like there's fire everywhere. Like I see us getting into a carriage. I don't know, it's just really windy, fire, wind. It's just they're putting a chest, like a hope chest, or those big chests, on the back of the carriage.
Like the house is on fire or the
I
city or
Yeah, I asked, I feel like there's houses on fire and it eventually burns, but I don't feel like it is yet. I'm just really sad. Like I'm crying. We're just
is this
trying to
the
get,
night that you're fleeing?
yeah, like I feel like we're trying to get out of there because the whole city's burning. I feel like everything's just burning down. And because we live very close to the palace, and so the mob just kind of destroys everything. And we're trying to get out of there because if we stay, we'll die. I'm just really sad to leave my house because I really love my house and I had a beautiful garden and I tried to create a lot of the atmosphere that I loved about being with Marie at her houses in my own yard. And I'm just sad that it's all like everything's just burning and dying. Like we had a beautiful friendship, we had a beautiful camaraderie with the girls, we had a beautiful, everything was so beautiful and it was ripped away from us. Like I was ripped away from her, and then that lifestyle was ripped away, and then what I tried to create was ripped away, and I'm being taken to a foreign place, and I don't know, I just really sad. It just really bothers me, and I do feel like I lived it with looking over my shoulder because it was just very scary, just kind of fleeing in the night like that.
Gave you PTSD.
Yeah. I was really angry too, because it was just a beautiful, I had a lot of joy. It was like, I just feel like it was just taken from me by shitty people. But they weren't shitty people. I mean, they weren't being taken care of by their leadership. They had every right to revolt. I celebrate the French spirit of revolution. Like they're not happy and they'll fucking revolt at the drop of a hat. They don't
Hmm.
take any bullshit. It just made me sad because I don't know, it was kind of surprising because I had no idea, I had a really charmed life. I had no idea how worse it was for other people. So it was really sad and jarring, I guess, because I feel like we're in a place that's more damp and I feel like I have a cough all the time and I just am, it's not like where we came from. Where we lived was very beautiful and I feel like where we went was kind of, it just wasn't what I liked.
So let's move forward, and the higher self can decide if there's any more important days or if they would like to show you the last day of this incarnation.
Well, I see myself like working with a gardening tool, like with a hoe, just kind of digging hand, doing it by hand. I feel like somebody comes with a letter. I read it and they're notifying people that, or they were being notified that the king and queen were executed. And I just kind of like fall, it's cry, like really upset. Like it really upset me. I see myself like kind of collapsing in my husband's arms. Like I'm just crying. Like I just really wondered what that was like for her. Like I just replayed it in my head what that must have been like for her. It just really upset me. There's just a lot of dreariness in my heart after that. It just made me sad just how she died. I don't know where to go with this scene.
Well, that might just be what the important part of it was how much it hurt finding out that she died.
Yeah, yeah, it really affected me. It kind of took a lot of my joy away. I don't feel like we left France. I feel like we were in an area that was at the edge of France, kind of by Germany. That's what I see. We just live in this quiet village, and I'm just so like bored. And I'm like angry, and I just don't feel like I really recovered my joy after that.
So let's go ahead and move forward to the final day of this incarnation.
I feel like I'm an old lady. The house that I lived in before, there was all these trees growing because I feel like there was just a lot of trees around. But now there's not so many trees, and I feel like it's more established community. I feel like there's grandchildren around. Like one of my daughters came by, and I'm waving at people, like I feel like there's a friendly community. I just feel like I go peacefully. I can't really put a finger on anything. I just feel like I'm sitting talking to my daughter. Like I feel like we're preparing something to eat in the kitchen and I feel like I kind of have a little bit of chest pain going on, but I'm just kind of like brushing it off because I'm tired, and but yeah, I just kind of go to sleep, like we're sitting out on like talking, but I just kind of drift. It's funny because I like to be outside when I cross over, and the sound of children having fun helps me too. Because like the kids are playing in the garden, and my daughter and I are talking, and I just feel like I'm transported by her words. I just kind of close my eyes and I could hear her words, and I kind of materialize into them. Like my soul just kind of like relaxing. It just is very relaxing.
Okay, and let's follow the soul as it leaves the body.
I just feel like I go off into the sky because I do see myself looking down at people and I see my husband coming home and I go to him, like my soul is like right next to him and I kiss him on the cheek and then I'm off, I'm in the light by then. But yeah, I just kind of go up and out. Like I see everybody and kind of smile and then yeah, I'm out. I'm off.
So let's sit down at the table with the Council of Elders and see if they can help make a little more sense of this incarnation. And you are now sitting down with the Council of Elders. Do you see them or
Hmm.
feel them? Can they help you understand the significance of this incarnation in your soul's journey?
Well, I'm brought to like a sense of joy and like what joy means to me and what happiness means to me. But I also feel like how that affects others because I see my husband, but I also see other people in this city. So I'm assuming, toying with his emotions, but also how our joy and opulence affected the people, other people, I guess. That's just what I see. I hear the term ignorance is bliss, but then my whole world was shattered because I lived in this false delusional world. I wasn't grounded in reality, and everything shattered for me because of that.
Now, were you living in this ignorance because of the society you were raised in, or were you choosing to be blind to it?
I think it's a little of both. I feel like people were talking around me, but I didn't understand what they were saying, so I just ignored it rather than asking questions to find out what they're talking about to understand. I just immediately wrote it off and ignored it and lived in my delusion with her because I feel like we were friends from our late teen years until I feel like there was about 5 or 6 years we hung out. I mean, my whole life I was groomed for that life. So it was
Right.
like if I wasn't taught something, I didn't pay attention to it. So I assumed since my dad wasn't teaching me how to pay attention, I didn't have to.
Hmm.
But that's also not an excuse. You have to, it's kind of like a balance of you got to kind of figure it out or be ignorant and figure out that you're ignorant later in life, if that makes sense. It kind of makes sense to me.
So, what did they want you to do differently? Or what do they feel you should have done differently?
Ask questions. If you don't understand, it's okay to stop and ask questions. Because I feel like there's times I don't, because I don't want to be made to feel stupid. So they're like, it's up to, because when you ask questions, you're putting an energy out. And if they choose to reject it or stifle it, that's on them now. That's their karma. But if I'm actively choosing not to understand my environment and my existence, then that's my karma. And
Mm-hmm.
so this is what I could have done differently was been more open to learning and instead of the word escapes me, instead of hedonistic lifestyle, I was too I was just groomed for culture and culture was fun. So that's what I thought existence was in that life, until it wasn't, because it really wasn't what existence is. I was kind of living in this false reality. And yeah, like I think a lot of it, I had points where I could have understood it, but I just chose not to.
How does that incarnation relate to your current incarnation?
I feel like I still don't understand social dynamics. I feel like there's lessons in taking charge of my everything, like taking charge of the information you're consuming, taking charge of if you don't understand, ask questions. If something's not right, speak up, knowing when to speak up. That song, you got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away. That's playing right now in my head. I
So, are
went
they
with the
saying that you're doing better in this incarnation, or that you need to take these lessons and apply them?
I
Or is like
feel
a
like,
similar theme?
yeah, like these are themes in my life right now that I need to learn how to stop going with the flow. So, in a sense, like going with the Delulu flow, I need to be grounded in reality and take charge of my experience because I'm creating my own reality. Sorry, I'm getting lost in these concepts because I went with the flow of everything in that life, assuming that everything was just fine and dandy, but I didn't ground myself in reality. And in this life, I'm being taught how to basically that, how to ground myself in reality, but also, I don't know, because I also have a hard time going with the flow because everything was violently changed and taken from me because I went with the flow and I trusted everybody around me and everything and la la la. And so it's like trying to let go of that trauma, but also learning how to ground myself in reality and then going with the flow of that reality. And so it's like a balance of, I feel like I'm being shown how to manifest reality, but the first thing I need to do is ground myself in reality
Okay.
because there is a flow of the universe that I need to surrender to. Because what I was surrendering to then was just my desire to have fun all the time and just do what I wanted to do all the time and never any responsibility. There was nothing I was responsible for. And so I just wanted to have fun. And so now it's kind of hard to go with the flow of responsibility Because on some level, I feel like maybe am I being too delusional and reality's gonna come hit me really fucking hard, and I'm gonna have to leave my house. Like I'm literally, when I'm grateful for my surroundings, I get a twinge of fear when I get to my house, and I'm afraid I'm gonna have to leave my house.
Mm.
Reality's gonna hit, and I'm gonna have to leave my house. That is literally my fear, and that makes so much sense why I have that fear. Is because
Yeah.
reality hit, and I had to leave my house and I loved my house and what I created here. Like, look at what I'm creating right now, and to have to leave that, it makes me sad as fuck. So I don't want to give into that fear, but they're showing me that's just a fear that's based in that. It's not a fear based in reality. So it's like you're just holding on to that fear from that,
Hmm.
So that really makes a lot of fucking sense. That's okay.
Well, that's good to know that that's also not a premonition, but a memory.
Exactly. Because I'm trying to let go of my fear and trust and they're like the fear is just lingering from a past life, so that makes a lot of sense. I I kind of understand the trauma, but I
Well, I was just about ready to ask, is there any other trauma that you're still carrying with you from that life other than that, the home trauma?
well, the first initial, the huge trauma I feel is trusting. There's trauma around trusting the flow because when I hear the terms trust the flow of everything, I just imagine that, but I'm being
Hmm.
told that's not a flow that was rooted in reality. So it's like it's okay to trust the flow because now I get it. They broke it down for me, so it's like now I get it. But yeah, that's the main trauma is trusting, learning to trust and let go. Because last time I thought I did that, it was not. Everything was violently just a goddamn revolution happened. Like
Yeah,
every
and well, I think the difference now too is the fact that you have the ability to educate yourself, and you do.
hmm
Whereas that time period, I could see why it would be a little easier to live in your own bubble and not be aware if unless you were seeking the information about
yeah,
how the rest of the world was.
exactly. Oh, totally. Yeah.
So it's understandable,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because my now that they broke it down like that, oh yeah, it completely makes sense. It's so funny
Hmm.
that that's where it came from too. I would have any lifetime, it's the Marie Antoinette life where you have that stems from being like not able to trust anything. But I mean, fuck, it's crazy.
If can we go to your healing space? Is there healing that we can do today? Or do they have any advice on how to work through this trauma and release it?
They said they liked my process using the cards. He's like, whatever works. He's like, there's no one path to healing. So it's like this method and modality is working for you. It's finally you're able to understand and it's a new way to get answers you seek. So they're like, do as many card pulls as you want. We'll tell you everything you want to know. Always there's always opportunities to release in your healing space. And they said this full moon is a great opportunity to bring, other people in. So I'm assuming my idea is very divine to bring Sonia in on this, because the healing ceremony, I'll have because I'll tell her, yeah, they're telling me the process of what to do. But like,
Is Sonia anyway involved with this incarnation as well?
yeah, I see the word no and they're shaking their head no. They're like, her trauma is surfacing. They said your
Mm-hmm.
trauma surfaces throughout most of your life. It's just a matter of who stifles it in you. But since it's surfacing now, let's get rid of it, or at least start to, so she could start to understand that not everything really heavy is real in this life. She needs to
Mm-hmm.
understand that existence is grander than just this life.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to feel upset. Like they're just, yeah, they're like, it's a great thing to teach a child. It's revolutionary. I don't know, that word isn't lost on me. It's revolutionary. But
Especially
yeah,
considering the
oh, I
the
know. Yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's really funny, but they're very they said this is energy that all of you guys are supported on. Like these stories coming to light are not an accident and it's not, this is all divine timing. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody is getting rid of things that needs to be, whatever. But like I feel like a lot of my healing will come through my spiritual practice, but they want me to focus that healing ceremony on her because I was thinking about that if I should meditate, do my own little meditation ceremony, and they were like, just do that on your own time. Like the ceremony it needs to focus on her because the healing that I could have done the equivalent of will happen through my spiritual practice and these card pulls and all the shit. Like they're just gonna tell me through the cards versus through meditation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. So yeah. But yeah, sorry, long story short, we totally go in my healing space and release it,
Mm-hmm.
and then do what I got to do afterward.
And describe to me what is happening as this healing is taking place.
I just keep seeing scenes from us hanging out. Like a lot of what's being released is just the sadness because I really loved her and it made me sad how she died and that she died, I just feel like if they only knew her, like she wasn't who they said she was, that bothered me. Like I feel like that's being released, like a lot of the gossipy bullshit. And I see a
Okay.
new shelf opening up. There's a picture of her and I at a costume ball, and I see a masquerade mask on the shelf. Like the shelf's coming to life. We're happy in that space together, but it's really lovely. The sky, there's shades. The smoke is turning into shades of pink and adding to the sunset.